Welcome to Fear and Greed, the Sunday edition. It's the 13th of February, 2022, and I'm Sean Aylmer. Today's show is a change of pace from the rest of the week, when the Fear and Greed team share some of our favourite stories for the week. As always, I'm joined by the team, Damsky, Adam Lang, day before Valentine's Day. What do you got lined up for tomorrow for Lara?
Oh, a little bit unprepared.
What I love is Adam is the most prepared individual between myself, Michael Thompson. You're also there. Hello, Michael. Morning. So the most prepared of us three is Adam. I was trying to find something that maybe he's not prepared on.
Well, when I say not prepared, I do have backup.
Oh, yes, go on.
I keep reserves, of cards and small things that I can give.
Really?
But yes.
In the cupboard, you've just got a card
Well,
just
I'm
in
not
case.
going to tell where they are. Laura might find them.
It's okay. She doesn't listen.
This is really interesting. So you have a stack of things, cards, little gifts, just hidden away somewhere, just in case.
Yes.
Mickey T, do you have that in your place?
I don't think anyone has that in their place. Hey, Adam, can I ask, what kind of gifts? Actually, we do have a massive stockpile of gift cards, but gifts are something else altogether. What have you got kind of tucked away? Are we talking kind of, is this jewellery kind of hidden away or edible goods?
A grandmaster painting,
No, something like that.
This is not. They're more little trinkets that you pick up and think, oh, one day that might be nice.
Do you really think about that?
Yes. Doesn't everyone?
You are almost sickeningly good at
Sweet.
this marriage caper.
No, it's the voice of experience. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to be unprepared.
I'm really impressed, Adamski.
Well, don't be. And then, of course, flowers, you can't really pre-prepare those, can you? So, there's still work that needs to be done ahead of the day.
Sean, you can't say that you're impressed by Adam saying he's got reserve presents when he only admitted he has reserve presents because he's unprepared for Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, but you're unprepared. I guarantee if I'd asked you that question without having any thinking time, you would have had a little moment of quiet just like Adam did, because I guarantee you're unprepared, Michael.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
Oh.
Go on. What are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing.
So you are prepared to do nothing.
Well, yes.
Everything is in readiness to do nothing.
Well, why make Valentine's Day any more special than any other day of the year?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
That sounds like an
Is
excuse.
Sian in agreement with you on that?
I hope so.
To be decided.
Otherwise, it could be very awkward this time tomorrow. No, we have discussed this at length. That we just figure we won't do gifts for Valentine's Day. We'll just not.
So you're okay because you've got two no's. Dempsey's got two yeses. In my household, we have a yes and a no. As in,
Okay.
I think Valentine's Day is stupid. Just full stop, stupid. Jackie, however, big fan. Big fan.
Oh, really?
Well, that leaves you with only one answer, Sean.
I love it. Big fan myself.
That's right.
Oh, so does that mean that you have to go and get a gift today?
It does, but as you both know, I'm working kind of remotely for the next week, and I'm sort of heading out west shortly, and so I think I've run out of time.
It feels like the timing of your trip has been rather deliberately planned to give yourself an extra week.
But you know what you have to do in the end is actually double up on what you pay, because of course you're not organised. If you're not Adamski, you're not organised, so you end up flowers or perfume or appropriate
Like a mobile phone charger from the servo.
things like that. But you pay twice as much as you normally would. Oh, this has gone way off beat. We haven't even got a safe word yet this week.
We've got a couple of contenders, don't we, Sean? I think I like yours.
Yeah, I think we mentioned yesterday, Sean, that there was a story that was your favourite story of the week and was also my favourite story of the week then, and it was going to make an appearance today. Would you like to refresh us?
The story is the one where a couple, a 34 and a 31-year-old, have been charged with stealing Bitcoin in 2016 from the Bitfinance exchange in Hong Kong. Now, when they stole it, it was worth around $71 million US dollars, but the appreciation in Bitcoin means it's now worth about 4.5 billion with a B US dollars. Now, these guys got stuck with it and are trying to launder it. A bit of a problem. They have just far, far too much money to launder. So they've been caught with it. But the woman, whose real name is Heather Morgan, actually has an alias. And that alias is Razzle Khan, Razzlekahn, and she's a rapper from New York City.
But she's also an economist as well, isn't she?
And a software CEO, all on her CV.
Overachiever.
That's right. I bet you she's ready for Valentine's Day. What do you get the person who has $4.3 billion of Bitcoin? They've pretty much got everything, haven't they?
Jail cell clothes or something. They're going to jail, these guys. Now, they're all allegations. We've got to put that up front. The allegations at this point that they stole 71 and it turned into 4.5 billion. And they just couldn't get rid of it. So can we go with Razzle Khan as our safe word for the week?
Yes, please.
Oh, there's nothing that could beat Razzle Khan.
I think it's great. Michael, did we have any audience feedback this week?
Yeah, we had a review that came in on Apple Podcasts, and we love people leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. This is from somebody rather enigmatically named Lofty Big Chopper.
Okay.
Lofty Big Chopper. A lot of credibility in whatever you're about to say here, Mickey.
Well, I happen to think Mr. or Mrs. Chopper could be onto something because they say, I think they're talking about the daily show. I'm sure they're also referring to the Sunday show, but very succinct daily updates and fun banter keeps it light, which is what we really try and do, isn't it, Sean?
Absolutely. Lofty, thank you very much.
Lofty Big?
Lofty Big.
See, that's a good name for a rapper. Lofty Big Chopper.
Yeah.
Adam, what would your rap name be if you could?
I don't. Look, let me just think about that because what I'm thinking of now is the American Super Bowl coming up and the halftime show, which involves the great sort of godfather of rap, I would say, is Dr. Dre. It's going to have Eminem. It's going to have Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg. That's going to be an awesome show. So I'm trying to think of something that's that big, with a good rap name for me.
So you want a rap name that's bigger than Dr. Dre?
Yeah, let's shoot for the stars. I'm not a fan of the swapping a letter for a $sign or a number. So I know plenty of rappers like doing that.
Stuffs up the spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's right. Or maybe spreadsheet with a $sign for the S.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Maybe that could be me.
Or you could be XL. XCELL. XL. Because it makes it sound like you were both a former prisoner and a fan of spreadsheets.
I mean, last year you gave me a rap name behind my back.
How did you know about that?
You kept calling me the Turramurra weed killer.
Well, you've been talking about gardening, and I figured that, yes, you being the man of the mean streets of Turramurra, Turramurra weed killer with an A on the end, of course, to make it street and tough.
What would Lofty Mickey T's rap name be? Suggestions? Squirrel.
Yes, MC Squirrel.
MC
I
Squirrel.
like that.
MT Squirrel.
What about 99.9?
Oh.
Your high school score.
Yeah. No, we're just shaming ourselves here at Damsky. I don't want to go into high school results.
Want to be flattering.
I'm moving on from this. What about the Super Bowl? So you're looking forward to the Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh, immensely.
What about the game itself?
Yeah, very much. I mean, there's been some epic games, but in terms of grand finals or Super Bowls, sometimes they're a disappointment, but I am looking forward to it.
Adamski, who's playing?
Yeah, don't know.
Really?
No idea.
It's the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams versus Cincinnati Bengals.
Good.
So this is you to a T. I mean, they've got great young quarterbacks, these teams. They're actually, they're quite exciting.
It's like the Melbourne Cup. I couldn't tell you who's running until the day of, and then I sort of do a dive into the information.
You introduced the whole concept of the Super Bowl. I suppose it was the halftime entertainment.
It's going to be epic.
Oh, to me, it sounds terrible.
What?
The halftime show.
Michael.
Ever since that Ms. Jackson woman was on at halftime, I've stopped watching it.
What, the malfunction of the wardrobe?
Yes.
So Michael's lamenting the fact that the Bee Gees won't be joining Dr. Dre on stage, although that might be something worth watching.
Well, when is it Barry Gibb's turn to do the Super Bowl halftime show?
It's been Barry Gibb's turn, and he wasn't asked.
Well, actually, you know what? I have never seen a crowd respond to an artist like they responded to Barry Gibb at do you remember the Sound Relief concerts that were about 12 years ago? Yes. And there'd been all the kind of the Coldplay and the presets and a whole bunch of others had gone. And
I was there.
It was. And Barry Gibb was closing that night. And
it was fabulous.
You have never seen a crowd of kind of 20-something people and then one kind of 70-year-old Adam Lang respond more extraordinarily to an artist performing Spicks and Specks, a song that is kind of 50 years old. And the crowd just went, oh, I imagine there'd probably been some substances that helped. But I think young people these days have an appreciation for the classics. So I'm going to start a campaign right now.
Oh, no doubt.
That it should be Barry Gibb Super Bowl 2023. And the resounding support.
Oh, we need to take a break. We'll be back with more in a moment. Now, let's get going on something serious, Adam.
Yes, my call to arms.
I was going to go to Michael. I thought, what are we going to talk to Michael about that's actually serious? You know, like he amuses us all day, Michael. He's, shall we say, a little less conservative than you and I are, Adam?
Yes.
Would you agree with that? His language is expansive in every way. His vocabulary is expansive. He has words I don't know, and I've been a journalist for many, many years. And when it comes to this point about let's have a serious conversation with Mickey T, I'm just not sure where to go. Michael, would you like to, the future of The Office? How about we try and get serious? Future of The Office. What do you think of that?
I'm always happy to be serious. I just kind of bring myself down to the lowest common denominator with you two. But if you want to take it up a bit, the future of The Office, Sean. People are heading back to work now. Actually, they're probably headed back a few weeks ago. And there seems to be a lot of people obviously having been working from home for quite some time. But still, there's faith from investors that office buildings still have a really strong future. And we've talked about that on the podcast and in a couple of interviews lately as well. There was a story a week or two ago in the Financial Review talking about the fact that the focus of 2022 is on the health and safety of employees, and that really comes through the office that they are creating. It's providing a workplace experience that can attract and retain talent because there's so much competition for every single worker out there at the moment. But one thing that offices aren't doing and companies aren't doing is expanding their office space. They're not taking up additional floors in buildings. They're not trying to cram in extra desks, but they're also not reducing, apparently, their office space either. So there's plenty of examples of companies that are moving offices or renegotiating leases, but they're not reducing their floor space. So what the prediction is that there's going to be more flexibility in working from home, but there is still going to be a requirement to go into the office. And with more emphasis on the office as being a good place to work, to come together to kind of work creatively on solutions, some things that can be a little bit difficult to do when you're remote, but that it's going to be more than just having a table tennis table or a pool table or free food or those sleeping pods that you always see whenever they're talking about kind of Google as the ideal workplace. And then there's the speculation that the 5-day office week is well and truly dead. We may not actually ever return to the office 5 days a week, but it will be this hybrid of 3 days, 2 days. So basically, the question for you is, would a sleeping pod be enough to draw you back into the office, Sean?
Well, I actually think what's going to draw people in the office, I know they've done that in Melbourne and Sydney CBDs, is the governments or councils have been offering incentives to get people back in, certainly on a Thursday and a Friday, to actually enjoy the entertainment. So if you think you're going out on a Thursday or a Friday night, I'll go back into the office. I'm not sure about the sleeping pods, right? But if you've got something to do after work, if you want to collaborate with people, I miss you guys. I
Couldn't even keep a straight face while you said that.
Something in your throat there, Sean? Like the truth?
No, I miss seeing people around the place. Michael, I've never really worked in an office with you, and Adam, I have only limited, but I actually quite enjoy that interaction. And I don't know that I want to go every day, but I'd be happy to go to the office 3 or 4 days. Wouldn't you, Adamski?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's so many different impacts that are going to play out, and just to hazard a few guesses, the office spaces will change. So I just don't think people who've been used to having their own office will continue to have it. I think there's much more flexible working spaces, open plan. There's
Don't
probably
say hot desking.
Yeah,
So what happens to hot desking though?
no,
Because
that'll stay.
No, it can't though. Not in the
I
age
don't
of
know.
Of course it
COVID.
can.
You can't have people sharing desks and moving around that much.
Are you going to deep clean every night?
Yeah.
I think that we'll come to a mechanism where they can be. I mean, it's just simply inefficient to have a single desk for every single person in your company.
Adamski, you've run a big company listed. I'm sure you introduced hot desking. Didn't everyone just go straight back and sit where they sit every day? I certainly have.
Yes, there was a lot of habits that came through where people really wanted to anchor themselves to a spot. And for many roles that works. But when you've got people who are really out of the office representing the company in different ways, whether it's dealing with suppliers, dealing with clients, those roles didn't really need a regular spot. So you kind of just developed neighbourhoods where people mainly worked and had a few spare desks in there that could be used, but there was not enough desks for everyone to be in the office at the same time. And I promise there was never a situation where you ran out of desks.
But okay, but we're at the COVID point, which Michael brought up. I think that hot desking, I don't want to go and sit at the same desk that Michael was at yesterday.
I think
unless it's had a really deep clean.
Sure. So,
I'm very hygienic, Sean.
I think cleaning services will definitely go up, but aside from no offices and shared desk arrangements and cleaning, I think the things that will have to change is the office is probably going to be a nicer place to work. And, companies that have led that way for some time simply because they've got so much money, like Google. Google put on lunches for people. And I think that's going to become less rare. And so office functions, building your culture, the culture aspect of a company should not be whether you've got a ping pong table or not. It should really be the way in which you act together as a team. So I think offices are going to change to reflect that. It's going to take a lot more energy, a lot more good outcomes, I think, around the energy that people who are leading businesses are responsible for generating a team atmosphere in the office.
Sean, have I ever told you the story about Adam and the huntsman spider?
No.
So this is an office-related story and about people from within the office pitching in to help others out. And so
At this point of the story, Michael, Adam hasn't actually interjected with a laugh, so I'm not sure whether he's terrified or
he
whether...
probably can't remember it. I was the one that was traumatised by this, not him.
I think I do remember it.
Go on.
Michael's not good with spiders.
So this is when Adam was the CEO of the company. His office was in the corner of the...
Of course it was.
Indeed. And my office was along the wall kind of next to him. So he walked past it to get to his. And he saw me kind of standing there looking up to the roof, kind of probably a little bit anxiously looking up. And he stuck his head in and goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "Oh, there's I was trying to play a pretty cool CEO. He's just stuck his head in. Oh, just a spider, just a pretty big huntsman up there. I'm just keeping an eye on it." He goes, "Oh, I've got this one for you." So then there's the CEO of the company chasing a huntsman around my office. He was crawling under the table. Adam was crawling under the table. He was chasing it up the wall, trying to grab it in his bare hands. He's chasing it. And finally, The huntsman gets away from Adam, runs into my bag, and Adam goes, oh well, yours now, and walked out of the office, leaving me with not just a huntsman that I knew where it was and could keep an eye on it and hopefully kill it when it got close enough. No, that was living somewhere in amongst my sandwiches and my drink bottle and my laptop. So I have never forgotten that moment of trauma of Adam kind of sticking his head in. He would have forgotten it instantly. But I have been traumatized by that.
Such a good manager, Adam. You really were.
Huntsmen are your friend.
They're not my friend.
They kill nasty little insects, mosquitoes.
We are in an indoor office. How many nasty little insects do you think we're going to find in there? But just the sight of the CEO of the company crawling on his hands and knees under the desk, chasing a spider with his bare hands and just succeeding in chasing it into my bag and then leaving me with it.
That's culture. That's culture, Adam Lang style. I like it.
Safari style.
Damsky, did you ever experience the Great Resignation when you were managing people?
I remember going to the office, I won't say which market, but a market office of one of the companies I was responsible for, and that people, when I first got introduced there, were saying they had a list of things that had to be remedied quickly, and if I didn't do it, they would go. So I was threatened with resignation. The mass resignation did not happen. In fact, none of them did. But so, no, I haven't experienced a great resignation, but we are apparently seeing it over in America, right? So very different support mechanisms through the pandemic. And Australia here had JobKeeper, which intentionally preserved the relationship between an employer and employee, and the government helped pay the bill of those companies disaffected by COVID. But in America, it was a different sort of relationship. And so what has been seen over there is millions of people have reevaluated their working lives through COVID and decided to resign. So there's actually been millions of resignations. So in Australia, we don't have a great resignation. The Treasurer this week, the Honourable Josh Frydenberg, our Treasurer, said that more than 1 million workers started a new job in the 3 months of September, October, November last year. So it's not a great resignation at all here. Apparently, what he's calling it is the great reshuffle. And so that number, 1 million workers with a new job, is 65% up on the same period in 2020 and 10% up on pre-pandemic levels. So we're seeing a different impact here. Great resignation in the US with millions deciding to stop working, and great reshuffle here. Now, what that's proving to be with supply chain issues and relatively strong economy is that people who are moving are typically getting a pay increase of between 8 and 10%. So it seems to be quite a good reason for many to reshuffle. It's been a remarkable outcome.
I like the idea of an individual reshuffling.
I'm going to reshuffle myself this week.
Reshuffle my employment portfolio.
Yes. Well, we all know that the Reserve Bank's waiting to see wage pressures come through. I mean, I must say, though, Adam, a lot of the jobs you're talking about, or the jobs that the Honourable Josh Frydenberg was talking about, are, bars and restaurants and, to be honest, casual workers who have come back online because they didn't have a job during COVID and that. So I wonder whether we're all reshuffling or not.
Oh, it's a really good point. But can I just throw in another little twist to this story?
To the reshuffle, the twist in the reshuffle. Yes, I like it.
So this was something that happened in America, and as part of their great resignation, an American 28-year-old had left her job as a senior travel reporter. Now, that's not unusual, someone resigning. But what she decided to do is tweet some advice for applicants for her old role. So she made it public. Now, I'm quoting from the tweet here. Ask for no less than a US $115,000 salary, a signing bonus, and a relocation bonus if you're moving to New York City, where the company is based. And then she added that she left the job at US $107,000. So she's saying, here's what I got paid. Go for a raise and a few other trimmings along the way. What a generous piece of advice. I'm not sure the company would be too happy about it.
No. Wow. That's great. I mean, of course, travel riders, everyone wants to be a travel rider because
That's a dream, isn't it?
The perks are pretty
lurks.
impressive.
Oh, I said lurks, you said perks. But yes, that's exactly right. They are pretty impressive. I've just realised we have managed to fill about 30 minutes without adding much value whatsoever, apart from Dr. Dre.
Hang on. Adam and I both brought up serious topics. You didn't bring up a serious topic, and that was enough for you to say that we didn't add any value today.
I like that. The we.
Just
The royal
because
we.
you didn't contribute anything serious means that this show had no value.
Sean and Michael, you do it 6 days a week. I get to have a crack at it 1 day a week.
Adamski, thank you for your efforts today. I think you did add value. I was totally right, apart from the fact you had no clue who's playing the Super Bowl.
None. Thank you for your help through that, Sean.
That's all right. Who was it again, remember?
No. LA Rams.
Yep. Cincinnati Bengals. There's a band, wasn't there?
No, the Bengals.
The Bengals?
Different spelling. Walk like an Egyptian.
Close enough.
Manic Monday.
Michael, tomorrow is a Manic Monday. It's also Valentine's Day. I hope that you and your lovely partner, Sian, enjoy the day with nothing, doing nothing for it. And thank you for joining us this morning.
It has been a pleasure.
Some reluctance in there. Yeah.
Michael, Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Have a great day. It's Sunday, the 13th of February, 2022. I hope everyone enjoys Valentine's Day tomorrow, whether you have a Valentine or not. I don't think that really matters. I'm Sean Aylmer. We hope...
Why, you're professing self-love now?
For those of you that do celebrate Valentine's Day tomorrow, enjoy it. I'm Sean Aylmer. We hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great Sunday.